right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show here on the Strickland, Strickland YouTube channel, Strickland Podcast Network. And if you listen to this the day after Strickland Podcast Network and on the Strickland Twitter, I'm Sam. I will be doing this probably solo today. But yeah, presented by FanDuel. Shout out to the Knicks advancing to their first ever NBA Cup final, beating the Orlando Magic 132-120 in Vegas, in their first appearance in Vegas, behind a masterclass by, of course, one Jalen Brunson, who, of course, always rises to the occasion when the stakes are elevated. We also had some great games from Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and basically the whole starting lineup. They showed up. They did their thing today. But yeah, no, this was just a great game from start to finish. I think after that first quarter, it kind of felt like the Knicks really had this game in control. Despite, some efforts from Jalen Suggs on the other side. He was the only one on Orlando that really felt like he was giving them a chance. And once he got hurt, it was kind of over from there. I mean, no one else on Orlando really had it going for them. Paolo finished with 25, but he really wasn't as impactful as that 25 says it was. Desmond Bane didn't really have the greatest game. In Orlando, they made their fair share of runs in this game, but there was nothing that really kind of scared me into thinking that the Knicks would lose this game. Even in the third quarter, when Orlando took like a 3-point lead or whatever it was in that third quarter, the Knicks kind of stormed right back and took like an 8-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. But yeah, no, the Knicks, they pretty much had this game under control after that first quarter. The first quarter, Orlando really gave the Knicks their best punch, and the Knicks were able to punch back and really didn't look back after that. You had some great moments from Josh Hart tonight, OG Anunoby, even Tyler Kolek, who, I mean, his numbers aren't really going to pop off too much to you. 4-3-4 and a steal, but he also made some key plays in that, second quarter, that really started to open things up for the Knicks. But yeah, no, this was a great game from this team. This team seems like they're starting to click a little bit more at the right time. And, we'll see who the Knicks face in Vegas next. But yeah, no, I want to say, this game, I mean, it was the classic Orlando physical game, but the Knicks were able to actually the Knicks were able to outshoot them. Their offensive firepower was just way too much for Orlando today. And this game felt very much different from all the previous matchups. Granted, they didn't have Franz. Paolo's still recovering, I guess. And Suggs, of course, still decided to have the game of his life once again. But yeah, no, I mean, the Magic, they tried to play similarly to the way that they have in the past against us, with that physical ball. And even Jalen Brunson, he was talking about it here on the Prime post-game show with the crew on the court. He was like, after that first timeout, Mike Brown kind of got into them because I guess Brunson said that the Knicks didn't seem like they were prepared for Orlando's physicality, which is such a funny thing to say because I feel like that's all you should expect when playing against Orlando, especially this year. Granted, two of our players got hurt against Orlando, two players that have actually been key to the Knicks this season off the bench, Deuce and Shamet, they got hurt versus Orlando. So it's like the one team that you should expect some physicality against. But yeah, Brunson said in the post-game show here, he was like, after that first time out, Mike Brown kind of got into us, and then they kind of didn't look back after that. So yeah, no, I mean, this Knicks team has shown a great resilience to fight back against runs. Last year's team, they showed some resilience too as well, but then they also showed some tendency to give up runs, especially at times where they were not needed. I won't harp on some things that happened in the playoffs last year, especially, but this team has shown some great resilience to runs. They haven't really gotten themselves into like runs where they're like down like heavy points. So it's like they've been able to respond really well. And they showed that once again today. What else do I want to say about this game? I mean, yeah, Jalen Brunson, he's just that guy, 40 points. So some Orlando fan tried to make up a lie about him being out late, I guess trying to set out a narrative that in case, Brunson struggled, he was out partying, but he ended up adding to the lore. 40 points with some great highlight plays, especially that ankle breaker on Anthony Black. That was probably one of the key moments of the game right there. Really shifted some momentum. Knicks were up 96-92. They were in the midst of that run, responding to Orlando after Orlando kind of started to look like they were going to take control. But like I said before, I didn't really feel like this game was out of hand for the Knicks at any point. But yeah, no. It's great to have some high stakes basketball in December. I tweeted out before the game. For me, it felt like I was getting ready to watch like a playoff game because it's single elimination. And yeah, I mean the game means something to these players. I mean this extra $500,000. A lot of guys on the Knicks, especially, this means a lot to them just because a lot of the guys on the team are not making a lot of money. Like the top guys, of course, are making the most money on the team, but when you think about like all the guys, like even like Tyler Kolek on a rookie deal, and all the guys that don't really play much, but that are like two ways or second year guys and stuff like that. Those guys, they don't they don't have a chance to make as much money as the top guys. So this extra $500,000 that if they win this cup, it means that much more. And yeah, these guys they're wanting to win this extra bread. I mean, even Cat, he's someone that of course has made his fair share of his money, and we all know his contract situation, but they said on the broadcast that he's wanting to give back to his community. So it's nice to see that these guys are motivated. My gripes with the cup have always been I don't like the Vegas location of things, just because I don't feel like it's all that. It's not as entertaining as when these teams are playing on their home court. Like, imagine if this game was at like MSG, like how rocking MSG would be for this game. So I feel like that's something that they probably have to adjust. But knowing this league and like their connections to Vegas and money and all this other stuff, I don't think it'll ever really happen. But I think in the future, that's something that the league should look towards in terms of like, higher seed. They get to play on their home court, all that. I know it has to do with like scheduling and stuff like that, and teams arenas and stuff like that. But I feel like this game would have been so much better, like if this was at like MSG or even if it was in Orlando. I feel like it would still be a much better environment than Vegas. And shout out to the Knicks fans that pulled up to Vegas. You could definitely hear them over there for sure. But there's just something about playing on the home court that I feel would have been so much better for this type of game, and it would have added to the environment. Talked about Jalen Brunson. Karl-Anthony Towns, I feel like he's kind of gone under the radar this year. I feel like a lot of people have been like criticizing him heavily. And he got off to a slow start offensively. But I saw a tweet the other day about his defensive numbers. And like I've seen actually a lot of tweets about his defensive numbers. And he's been playing like really well on that end of the floor. And I don't think people have been giving him his credit for that. And I feel like if he can stay consistently solid on that end and not be as bad as he was in previous seasons, I feel like that will go a long way for this team in the playoffs. But yeah, no, I feel like a lot of people have been super hard on Cat, and he's shown up. He showed up in this game, 29 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal and a block. Some pretty good defense. Played really well in that game on Tuesday as well against the Raptors. 14 and 16. But I thought his defense was really good in that game, especially in that second quarter against the Toronto Raptors. I thought he did a good job, especially after picking up those 2 quick fouls in the first quarter. He kind of really adjusted his play style defensively and was really good at contesting without fouling. I thought he did a good job of just staying in the rotations and all that. I felt like he played a really good game defensively in that game. But yeah, no, I think I think people have just been way too hard on him, and I think that people should, definitely start to recognize him for his positive play. Because, with all the Giannis rumors and stuff that have been swirling since we last actually went live, a lot has been connected to the Knicks these last couple weeks since we last went live. Apologies for not going live sooner. Your boy had final assignments, final papers, final projects to do. So semester's finally over, so I'm free to do as much live streaming as needed. But yeah, no, I feel like since the whole Giannis of everything, I feel like a lot of people have been harder on Cat, and they've been, even before that, they've been super critical, and everyone's like, we should trade Cat for Giannis and all that stuff. But I feel like Cat's been doing his job. And he's been showing up in these cup games. I feel like that matters a lot. And he showed up today too. He played really well. I like the way that Knicks are getting him looks. He's getting a lot of free throws, and I mean he got a good amount of free throws today as well. 10 free throws, made 9 of them. Knicks are doing a good job of getting him the ball in the paint and position. And I feel like he's making better decisions on his drives too. He's not really turning the ball over that much, and that goes a long way because I feel like that has been something that's been a really that's been like a criticism of Cats over the years. It's like we have always been known that he's pretty good in passing and stuff like that, but I feel like also the Knicks just been doing a better job of getting him the ball in positions where he can make better decisions, and it's paying off. So that's been really good to see from Cat. You're just hoping that he keeps this up because this team will only go as far as of course Jalen Brunson takes them, but of course Karl Anthony Towns, he's the second best player on the team. So good to see what we've been seeing from him. Josh Hart, giving you another Josh Hart style of game. 12, 6, and 6. Over 4 from 3, but glad that he's still at least taking the shots. 3 steals and a block today as well. Just everywhere on the court. I mean, what more can you say about Josh Hart this year? He's been really good for this team. What are they, 9-1, I think, since he's been the starter? Something like that. I don't have the stat exactly in front of me. Maybe Jordan Bub will pull it up. Shout out Jordan Bub. He's dropping some stats off in the chat that I'll read off in a minute. But yeah, no, Josh Hart's been he's doing his damn thing out there. What else can I say? Fouled out today, but that's actually very funny. OG Anunoby, 24 points. I didn't even feel like OG had 24. That's crazy, actually. That's crazy. He had 24. 24, 6, 4, 3 steals and a block as well. Doing his thing out there. Yeah, no, OG was pretty good. It really did not feel that he had 24, but he always feels like he has timely baskets too. I hate when he hesitates when he gets in the paint sometimes, but he be doing his thing, hitting threes. Was 3 or 4 from 3 today, so that's pretty good. He's just so important to this team. You can just tell when he's out there versus when he's not there. The Knicks with him and the Knicks without him is night and day. It's actually crazy. It's from when they're fully healthy, it's from a good team to elite when OG is out there. He just does so much. But yeah, no, he was good today as well. Mikal Bridges was cherry picking like a motherfucker today. Just really getting a bunch of like transition layups. I think Tyler Cole got him a couple. I know he definitely got him one off a steal. Um, it felt like most of his points came off like the Knicks getting a steal and like he was just leaking out and they were hitting him in transition. And he was finishing. So I still felt like we needed a little bit more from him, but Knicks got the job done regardless. So can't complain too much there. Can't complain too much. I kind of spoke on Tyler Kolek. I see Giannis LB 809 says thoughts on TJ McCulloch. I thought he did. I think he's been putting together a solid string of games. I think he played really well today. Was dishing the ball really well. Got a steal and got Mikal some. Got a layup out of it too. So I think he's been playing really well. We'll see what happens. I know the Knicks have been linked to some guards and trade rumors. So folks are speculating about what that means for the guards on the team, whether that be Jordan Clarkson, Tyler Kolek. We'll see what happens. I'm not anticipating that. I mean, it's hard to say with this team, you know, with the contract situations, it's like certain players got to get moved for certain if you want to bring other players in and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. But I think Tyler Cloak's been playing really well off the bench lately. And if he continues playing like this, you know, maybe they won't. Maybe he'll stick in the rotation when guys come back because we are missing some key guards off our bench right now. So, Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele, they've been rough, and I'll get to them in a minute. Mitch Robinson, feels like he gave you like one of his better, if not best game of the season so far. I mean, 5 and 9, but like the 4 blocks, like that's where we really need Mitch to like really shine right there defensively. Like the second chance points and the rebounds and all that, that's really good. We know to expect. We know what to expect on that end. But it's the defense that we really want to see start to take its form with Mitch, because you know that's the side that a lot of people have been saying this year. It hasn't really looked as good for him, and I gotta agree with folks there. Like he just hasn't looked as good on that end of the floor. So we'll see, but you know, I thought today was one of his better, if not best, efforts of the season. And what a time for it to come! And you know, we'll see what happens in the Cup final game, depending on, you know, who we play. Could be OKC, could be the Spurs, so we'll see there. But yeah, all right. Now to the two kind of ugly ducklings of the Knicks today, Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele. A lot of people are probably going to be linking them to these trade rumors that the Knicks are in, just because of, especially Yabusele's contract. It is the one that matches up better with someone like a Jose Alvarado or something like that the Knicks are linked to. So, and Yabusele got a quick plug, quick pull today. He was not like, when he was in, part of the reason why Orlando was like getting what they wanted in certain parts of that first quarter was when Yabusele came in, like it was free eats for anyone that he was guarding. So he's, that December 15th day is coming up. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yabusele could be on his way out. He's been on the short end of the stick in terms of the rotation. And yeah, no, I mean, I feel like he's just not been what we expected as fans, and I think probably the organization expected. I mean, seeing what he did in Philly last year and then seeing what he's doing now is just, seems like it's taking him a while to like really, I don't know. he's just not what any of us, I guess, thought what he was going to be. And the way his contract is set up, it makes it kind of easier to trade for those lower salary guys that the Knicks seem to be interested in. So we'll see what happens with Yabu. I think they'll probably flip him at some point soon, especially with all the talks of the people that the Knicks are linked to. So we'll see what happens with him there. Jordan Clarkson, another person that hasn't been playing that well recently. I know he had, I want to say, scoring wise, he played a little bit of a better game versus the Raptors. He had about 12 off the bench, 5-10 shooting. He was all right in that game. But I feel like he is just so hot and cold and so volatile. And before that Raptors game, I really didn't feel like he was producing much for a couple weeks or so now. So, and it's going to sting that much more because no Deuce, no Shamit. So it's like you kind of need Clarkson to step up and kind of give you the production he was giving you, especially earlier in the season. So if he can't do that, and I mean he's on a minimum contract, it's like you're probably gonna have to like toss him in a trade for something. See what you can get back, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, him and Yabu, they haven't been performing up to expectations, especially for the latter part. So we'll see what happens with those two. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of exciting, Knicks being in this cup game, and we'll see who they get to play. It'll be interesting to see if they'll play OKC. That might possibly be a finals preview. Getting a finals preview this early in the year in a game that has some pretty high stakes, and it doesn't even count against the Knicks record if they lose or not. So it's like, yeah. All right, let's get to some comments. Shout out to everyone that's in here. Make sure you like, subscribe. Chris Bernhard says Jalen Brunson saved my life. He saved every person in New York City's life that roots for the New York Knicks. I seriously don't know what we would do without Jalen Brunson. Shout out to Nike Basketball, who tweeted out who left the burner on, by the way. Give that man a shoe. How about that? I know Brunson doesn't want a shoe. He loves Kobe's. But yeah, no, but Jalen Brunson's been probably the best thing to happen to the Knicks in forever. Literally. He's been amazing. Always showing up in the biggest moments, even in a cup game in December when the stakes aren't as high as the playoffs, but pretty high regardless. Showed up, gave us a 40 ball. Make sure Knicks fans stay a little bit more sane during this holiday season. So, Heiza EO 6099 says the passing was super crisp, but the playing with food needs to be addressed. Yeah, the Knicks, they have these moments where they kind of let a team get back into things. I think Mike Brown has gotten a little bit better in terms of calling timeouts to stop that shit. So that's been encouraging to see. You're just hoping they don't do that against, even higher level opponents. Because they will take advantage of that shit, especially if you play against OKC, get a big lead, start playing with your food a little bit. They'll take advantage of that shit easily. So Jordan Bub here. Tyler Casino Kolek coming up aces in Vegas as the Knicks advance to an NBA Cup final. 15 minutes off the bench, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 of 3 from the field, and plus 17 game best. Yeah, you could see it. I mean, he was playing really well. And I mean, Mike Brown was trying out lineups with him and Jalen Brunson out there with Kat and Mitch. And it was not, those lineups were not bleeding points and not really struggling that much offensively. So, I mean, hey, if Kolek can, survive in those type of lineups, I mean, that adds another little dimension to the team where, Brunson can play a little bit more off ball. Cat can space out. Maybe you get some pick and roll action with Mitch, get him some lobs or whatever it may be. which gets you some nice offensive rebounds, kickouts to guys. There's a lot of different, wrinkles that you can try out with that lineup alone. Just don't go to the Jordan Clarkson, Tyler Kolek, Jalen Brunson lineups. Like I think those have to be done for good. So, yeah. And yeah, this game is about to start from between the OKC and the Spurs. And Wemby versus Chet. I almost forgot about that whole dynamic that's going on there between those two. It's like a little mini rivalry between those two. Interesting to see how that game goes now. More just because of that. But yeah. Jordan Bub, Mitch Robinson stats in today's semifinal game. Hit 1 out of 2 free throws. Shout out to him. I know he's super pumped to go see that there's some country band they said that was playing in Vegas, and he was excited to see it. So maybe Mitch will go spend his night in Vegas doing that. All right, let's see what else we got here. Jalen Brunson over the last 4 games, 34.5 points per game, 6.3 assists per game, 2.8 rebounds, 55%, 56% basically from the field, 50% from 3, 36.6 minutes per game. He's doing his damn thing. Jalen Brunson just doing Jalen Brunson things. I mean, we all kind of expected, to him to have one of these stretches, and as expected, it's happening right now. So it could happen at a better time. NBA Cup games matter just a little bit more right now. So yeah, why not? Let's see what else we got here. Nick Yak says Mitch and Kolek held down the bench. Hurry back McBride to lead the bench. Yeah, no, we definitely are missing Deuce and Shamit for sure. You could tell, especially on the side of the ball in terms of volume 3-point shooting. Those two are definitely missed. Especially McBride. I mean, both of those guys were on heaters before they got hurt, especially from 3. So it's like it sucks that they were not able to they're not able to, continue playing right now. Hopefully they're both back very soon. Knicks coach Mike Brown on the MVP conversation, by the way. This was a tweet from Underdog NBA. Says, I don't ever hear Jalen Brunson's name. His name's got to be one of the first names coming out of some of these mouths. Instant retweet. That's funny because I mean they say everybody else's name with Brunson, man. Like, it's just crazy. They be saying like, if stars be in New York, they name gonna get gassed and all that. Nah, that don't happen. Knicks tax is real, bro. There was a clip today that went around of a reporter asking Wemby about like how did it feel to score 60 in a game last year. Mind you, it was Brunson that scored the 60 against him. Like, it's just crazy, bro. Your PR be in the gutter if you're a Knick, bro. It don't even matter like if you're playing mad well, like you're just shit don't matter, bro. Let's see what else we got here. Ooh. Sorry, y'all. Your boy is tired. I ain't gonna hold you. Giannis here says Mitch is regressing on defense this season due to all his injuries. He looks slow. It might be interesting to flip him in Yaba with Gafford. Well, the thing about Gafford, also someone injury prone right now. Like, not really playing the best. In terms of, I mean, he just haven't been on the court. So if like you're looking for someone that's going to be on the court, I just rather keep Mitch, especially just because of Mitch's impact. It's just like that much better. So yeah, no. Yabu, I have no problem flipping him. Like he can go. I thought what we were gonna get from Yabu was gonna be a little bit of last year's Sixers version, just like not gonna be obviously as potent, just because he's not going to get the same minutes load he got. But yeah, no, he definitely didn't live up to expectations. So yeah, Yabu, you can get him out of here, but I don't know about flipping Mitch and Yabu for Gafford. Mitch's impact just on the with the second chance points. I mean, if you look where the Knicks rank in second chance points, I think it's only behind Houston this year. And Houston, of course, because of Sengun and Steven Adams, killing it on the second chance points over there. So, I mean, get rid of Mitch. You gotta hope Gafford can be like a fraction of that. But yeah, no. He just hasn't been on the court too. So. Let's see what else we have here. Knicks Yak, 72-68. 4 blocks and not enough in 17 minutes, 9 boards. Good offense wins lots of time. Only 50 games played since he came back last year. Yeah, I mean, I think the Knicks are being very cautious with him. So, I mean, as long as he's able to play in the games that matter, like today he's able to play and his impact was shown. So, like, and it's a high stakes game too. So, like, this is all a lot of fans have been just saying about this whole situation with Mitch. I think a lot of people are fine with him. Like, I think a lot of fans are fine with this like maintenance plan that they have with him. As long as he's able to play in games like these and in the playoffs and like, he's able to have that high impact, then that's fine. Because like, especially in the playoffs, there's no back-to-back. So like he's going to play every game. And you're just hoping, as this season rolls on, they're able to, ramp up his minutes, all that. We'll see what happens later in the year. But I feel like if he's able to go in the playoffs and give you what he gave you, especially last year in the playoffs, then you take that. Like that's what matters. That's what he's here for at this point. Like that's his role. Like this regular season shit, it don't matter that much. So, I mean, in terms for him, and the team has been able to, like, if Cat is playing the way he is defensively, this team is still able to do what needs to be done in those moments to to win. So yeah, I mean, as long as he's able to go, he's gonna be valid for the cup game, the cup final game on Tuesday. Like, if he could give us like 5 blocks, 10, 11 rebounds, I don't even care about the points. Like, just hit your free throws at this point. Try to hit them. Like, that's it, bro. But yeah, I thought today was, yet another fun, good game for this Knicks team. Was able to handle the physicality of Orlando. Got out of the game healthy, thankfully. Can't take that for granted playing against Orlando, especially the last 2 times we played them. Both Shaman and Deuce got hurt. So, can't take it for granted that we came out of this game healthy and, got a chance to play for this cup championship for the first time. So, yeah. Sorry, folks. I'm just reading this quote from Wemby here. He says, Wemby on his matchup with Chet Holmgren, the reigning MVP is on that court, so he's our main focus. Anybody is hard to guard when you have to help on the MVP. Nice. Love it. I need Wemby to give us a fucking god-like performance today. Because actually, I'm actually going to put money on him. On FanDuel. Shout out to FanDuel, our sponsor. Look at that nice little segue there. Guess you guys didn't see that coming. What? Can't bet blocks? That's crazy. Oh, there we go. 5 blocks for Wemby. That should be light work. But yeah. Any other comments here? I feel like a lot of Knicks fans, they'll probably want the Spurs to win because they feel like it'll be easier, maybe. I'm of the mindset, you know what? Just give me the best team. I want to see us put up our best shot against OKC, best team in the league. Got a chance to what you call it. Give them maybe their second loss of the year if they beat the Spurs, but I mean, it won't count on their record, which fucking sucks. It sucks. But we'll be seen as, one of the only teams that was able to beat them if we beat them in the midst of their historic start of the season. And I think it's funny that I forgot who said it. It was Jeff J and Sean with a W from Knicks Film School. They brought up a tweet that I saw on the timeline myself of, about the Thunder's strength of schedule, and the Knicks were up there in terms of, their strength of schedule hasn't been the best either, but not as easy as the fucking Thunder, man. Thunder's been playing some weak opponents, You can only play who's in front of you, of course. But I mean, there's a lot to say when you play like teams like Portland, Sacramento, the Mavs. Like a lot of these bad teams, you play them a lot already to start the year. Like, man, I ain't gonna take you that serious. Your record's your record, They're 24-1. They're 24-1. It is what it is, but they ain't slaying no dragons yet, man. This year, they ain't slaying no dragons yet. I want to see how they come out against this Spurs team. I don't know if they played the Spurs yet with Wemby this year. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I am intrigued in this matchup just a little bit more, just given the context of everything that we've, heard about OKC and all that stuff. So I want to see how the Spurs handle this matchup, and I want to see if if OKC makes it past, they get to face us in a finals preview. So there's that. Let's see. Giannis LB says he's interested in the fact that Gafford is under contract longer than Mitch to keep assets. He says Mitch's second chance impact is major though, but it's a bet. Yeah, no, I mean I get the whole keeping assets thing, and I guess the Knicks haven't really agreed to anything with Mitch. Given the contract extension situation there. But yeah, no, I mean, because of that, there's going to be a lot of speculation on if the Knicks are going to flip Mitch for anything. But I feel like Mitch is too strong of a part of this team's identity for them to flip him. I feel like if they wanted to flip him, they would have done it already. Like his value, I feel like, maybe it's probably risen, maybe, because just because teams have been able to see like what his impact is for this team. But I feel like he's too big of a part of this team's identity for them to like give up on him, especially at like when they're at the peak of contention. Like they're the favorites to win the East. I don't care what fucking sports books say, and like we can look on our good sponsor FanDuel to see who's favored to win the East actually right now. It is the Knicks, thankfully. But yeah. This is the first time the Knicks have been like, in my opinion, they should be heavy favorites to win the East. But this is the first time ever that the Knicks are heavy favorites, and I don't think that they'll like give up on one of their key core impact players at this time. All right. The Knicks play the Cup game on Tuesday, so that is their next game. Sticking around in Vegas. And I will definitely be live after that game on Tuesday. What date's Tuesday? Tuesday is the 16th. Yeah, I'll be live after that game. I don't know who will join me. Maybe Schwinn, maybe Tyrese, maybe no one else. I'm not entirely sure, but I will be here live to break down everything that happened in that game. Hopefully, the Knicks are hoisting up the NBA Cup. And, I know folks are going to make jokes about, raise the banner and all that shit. And like, this is the only banner that you guys will raise. Who cares? NBA Cup's fun. I feel like it'd be more fun if they did this at MSG, but it'll be fun to have the Knicks playing in a game that matters, high stakes, all that. And they'll be playing against a good team, whether it's the Spurs or OKC. And to beat OKC, it feels even that much better because, although it doesn't count against their record, you'll be like, hey, we were one of the only teams that were able to beat them during this historic year that they're having. So there's that. But yeah, shout out to everyone that tuned in. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. What else? Check out all the links in the description. Do that. Check out our good friend, FanDuel. I mentioned FanDuel a lot this episode. Your boy just won like $780 on FanDuel. Shout out to someone on Twitter that posted a parlay. Go on my feed. You'll see it there. All that good shit. But yeah, no. Yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday. So make sure you tune in for that. And everyone enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.